abandoned at my own wedding after my family scammed me, but I turned the tables. "Welcome to the real show," I announced, their colors drained. I stood in front of the full-length mirror draped in white silk and lace, wondering if this was how every bride felt on her wedding day, like she was starring in someone else's fairy tale. My name is Zuriel, and in less than hours, I was supposed to marry the man of my dreams. Instead, I was fighting the urge to rip off my veil and run. "You look perfect," Hallie gushed, adjusting my train for the time. "Leo won't be able to take his eyes off you." I caught her reflection in the mirror. My sister's smile didn't quite reach her eyes. Something was off, had been off for weeks now. The way she'd hovered during my phone calls, her sudden interest in my financial planning meetings, those hushed conversations that stopped whenever I entered a room. "Thanks," I managed, forcing a smile. "Could you grab my phone from my purse? I want to check if Mom's arrived." The moment Hallie left the bridal suite, I let out a breath I didn't know I'd been holding. The knock on the door made me jump. "Zur?" Elise's familiar voice called out. "You decent?" "Come in," I said, relief washing over me at the sight of my best friend's face. "Please tell me you brought coffee." She slipped inside, paper cups in hand. "Better. I brought vodka." I laughed, but it came out hollow. "That obvious? You look like you're about to attend a funeral, not your wedding." Elise handed me a cup. "Spill. What's wrong?" Before I could answer, voices drifted up from the garden below. My father's distinctive tone made me freeze. "Everything's in place," he was saying. "Once they're married, Leo will have access to her trust fund. The paperwork's ironclad, and she doesn't suspect anything?" Leo's voice. My fiancé's voice discussing my money with my father. Zuriel's always been naive when it comes to family, just like her mother. The coffee cup slipped from my fingers, splashing across the pristine carpet. Elise grabbed my arm, steadying me. "Those bastards," she whispered. I moved to the window, careful to stay hidden behind the curtain. Leo and my father stood by the rose garden, heads bent together like conspirators, which I realized with a sick feeling in my stomach was exactly what they were. "I need your phone," I said to Elise, my voice surprisingly steady. "Mine's with Hallie, and I need to record this." She handed it over without question. I hit record just as Leo spoke again. "The prenup won't be a problem?" My father laughed. "Already taken care of. The lawyer's an old friend, made sure there were enough loopholes to drive a truck through. Within 6 months, you'll have full access to her inheritance." "And Hallie? She's still on board?" "My eldest knows what's good for her. Besides, her cut's already been negotiated." I stopped recording, my hands shaking. "My own sister," I whispered. "My own family." Elise pulled me into a fierce hug. "What are you going to do?" The door opened and Hallie breezed back in, my phone in hand. "Sorry it took so long. Mom's stuck in traffic, but she'll be here soon." She paused, taking in the scene. "Everything okay?" I looked at my sister. Really looked at her. The designer bridesmaid dress she'd insisted on. The new diamond earrings she shouldn't have been able to afford on her teacher's salary. All the pieces falling into place. "Everything's fine," I said, smoothing down my dress. "Just wedding day jitters." Hallie relaxed visibly. "Don't worry, sis. This is going to be a day no one will ever forget." For the first time since overhearing the conversation, I felt my lips curve into a genuine smile. "You're absolutely right about that." After Hallie left to check on the flowers, Elise grabbed my shoulders. "Please tell me you have a plan." I reached for my purse, pulling out a small USB drive. "Remember last month when I said I was paranoid for installing security cameras in my office? Turns out paranoia pays off." I handed her the drive. "I need you to get this to the AV team. Tell them it's a surprise wedding video." "What's on it?" "What's on?" "Every conversation my father and Leo have had in my office for the past 3 weeks. Every plot, every scheme, every betrayal." I straightened my veil, a calm settling over me. "They want a show? I'll give them one they'll never forget." "Zur," Elise said softly. "Are you sure about this?" I met my reflection's gaze in the mirror. The woman staring back wasn't a victim. She was a force to be reckoned with. "They thought they could steal my future," I said. "Instead, they're about to lose everything." "You need to see this," Elise whispered, pulling me into an empty conference room at the venue. 2 hours until the ceremony, and my heart was racing with equal parts rage and determination. She pulled up a video on her laptop, security footage from my father's office that I hadn't seen yet. The timestamp showed yesterday afternoon. "I had to hack into his cloud storage," she explained. "Your dad really should use better passwords than your mom's birthday." On screen, Hallie paced back and forth while my father sat at his desk counting what looked like stacks of cash. What if she finds out? Hallie's voice crackled through the speakers. Zuriel's not stupid. Your sister sees what she wants to see, my father replied. Just like she sees love when she looks at Leo. Speaking of which, your advance payment. He pushed an envelope across the desk. Hallie snatched it up. This isn't what we agreed on. The rest comes after the wedding. Can't have you getting cold feet now, can we? I clicked the laptop shut, unable to watch anymore. My own sister sold me out for cash. There's more, Elise said quietly. Your mom? A knock at the door made us both jump. Hallie stuck her head in. There you are, Mom's looking for you. Something about the veil? I forced a smile. Be right there. As soon as Hallie left, I turned to Elise. I need you to do something else for me. Call Nathaniel, your old friend from law school. Why? Because I'm about to blow up my entire family, and I need a good lawyer in my corner. 20 minutes later, I was sitting in the bridal suite while my mother fussed with my veil. Her hands trembled slightly as she pinned it in place. Mom, I said softly, is there something you want to tell me? She froze for a moment, then continued adjusting the fabric. What do you mean, sweetheart? About Leo, about the prenup, about any of it? Her hands dropped to her sides. Zuriel, please, how long have you known? She sank into a nearby chair, suddenly looking every bit her age. Your father? He said it was for the best, that Leo would take care of you, keep the money in the family. And that made it okay to conspire against your own daughter? I tried to stop it at first, she whispered. But your father, you know how he gets. I did know. I'd watched him manipulate and control everyone around him my entire life, but this time was different. My phone buzzed. A text from Nathaniel. Everything's ready. Are you sure about this? I typed back quickly. Absolutely. Zuriel, my mother pleaded. Whatever you're thinking of doing, save it. I cut her off. You had your chance to warn me, to protect me. You chose not to. A knock at the door announced Elise's return. The guests are arriving, she said, and I've got something you need to see. She handed me her tablet. On it was a bank statement, Leo's personal account. Regular deposits from my father over the past year, totaling close to half a. He's been getting paid to court you, Elise explained. Your father orchestrated the whole relationship. I laughed, but there was no humor in it. Of course he did. Because finding my own happiness wasn't part of his master plan, was it? Another knock, and this time it was Hallie. The photographer wants some pre-ceremony shots with the family. Perfect timing, I said, standing. Let's get everyone together. One last happy family portrait. As we walked to the garden, Hallie grabbed my arm. You seem different. Is everything okay? I stopped and turned to face her. Tell me something, sis. How much was I worth to you? How much did our father have to pay you to betray me? The color drained from her face. I don't know what you're talking about. No? Should we ask Leo, or maybe we should check that envelope in your purse? She grabbed my wrist, her nails digging in. Whatever you think you know, I know everything. I hissed, pulling free. And in about an hour, so will everyone else. You'll destroy this family. No, Hallie, you all did that yourselves. I smoothed my dress and plastered on a smile. Now let's go take those photos. I want to remember exactly how everyone looked before it all fell apart. As we joined the rest of the family by the rose garden, I caught Elise's eye. She gave me a subtle nod. Everything was in place. My father raised his champagne glass. To my beautiful daughter and the perfect union of our families. I raised my own glass, meeting his eyes. To truth, I said. And to karma. The confusion that flashed across his face was just the beginning. The real show was about to start. After the photos, I slipped away to meet Nathaniel in the venue's library. He stood by the window, tablet in hand, looking every bit the sharp lawyer he'd become since our law school days. Did you get everything transferred? I asked, closing the door behind me. As of 20 minutes ago, your entire inheritance is locked in an ironclad trust. He showed me the confirmation documents. Your father's going to have an aneurysm when he realizes he can't touch it. What about the prenup? Already handled. I filed the documentation showing it was signed under duress and with fraudulent intent. Even if Leo tries to challenge it, he doesn't stand a chance. A soft knock interrupted us. My mother entered, closing the door quickly behind her. I thought I'd find you here, she said, wringing her hands. Sweetheart, please, whatever you're planning. Sit down, Mom. I gestured to a leather armchair. Let's talk about the offshore account Dad opened in your name. She sank into the chair, face pale. How did you the same way I know about the payments to Leo, the fake prenup, and Hallie's little side deal? I pulled up a chair across from her. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Your father. He said it was just insurance. That the money would stay in the family. No, Mom, the money was never going to stay in the family. It was going to stay with him. I leaned forward. Did you know Leo's already picked out the house he's going to buy with my money? In the Cayman Islands, coincidentally, her hands started shaking. I didn't want any part of this. But you went along with it anyway. I stood up. You have 30 minutes to make a choice. Either stand with me when I expose everything, or go down with them. Zuriel. 30 minutes, Mom. Choose wisely. As she hurried out, Nathaniel whistled low. That was intense. It's about to get worse. I checked my phone. A message from Elise confirming the video setup was ready. I need you to do one more thing for me. Name it. When everything goes down, get my mother out of here. No matter what she chooses, she doesn't deserve to watch her world collapse in public. He nodded. Consider it done. I was heading back to the bridal suite when I heard voices from my father's private office. I pressed against the wall listening. She knows something, Hallie was saying. She's been acting weird all morning. Impossible, Leo replied. Everything's been perfect. She suspects nothing. Then why did she ask about the envelope? About how much I was paid? Both of you shut up. My father snapped. The ceremony starts in 20 minutes. Get it together. But Dad, I said shut up. This wedding is happening. Everything we've worked for depends on it. I pulled up my phone and started recording. And what exactly have we worked for, Dad? I stepped into the doorway, phone raised. Please enlighten me. The color drained from their faces. Leo recovered first, moving toward me with his arms outstretched. Baby, what are you doing here? It's bad luck to save it. I backed away from his reach. I've had enough luck with you to last a lifetime. My father stood, his face darkening. Whatever you think you know, I know everything. I held up my phone, and now I have this conversation too. Should we add it to the highlight reel? Highlight reel? Hallie's voice cracked. Oh, didn't Dad tell you? All those private conversations in his office? Not so private after all. My father lunged for my phone, but I was already moving. You ungrateful little careful dad. Wouldn't want to bruise the bride before her big moment, would you? Zuri will please. Leo tried again. We can talk about this. Oh, we will, in front of everyone. I backed toward the door. I hope you're all camera ready. Your performances are about to go viral. I slammed the door on their shocked faces and ran straight into Elise. There you are. She grabbed my arm. Everything's ready, but we have a problem. Your mom? Is right here. My mother's voice came from behind us. We turned to find her standing there, spine straight, eyes clear, and I'm done being a coward. Mom? She pulled an envelope from her purse. Bank statements, transfer records, everything your father's been hiding for the past year. She handed it to me. I should have done this months ago. I hugged her tight, breathing in her familiar perfume. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. She pulled back, straightening my veil. Now let's go give these bastards exactly what they deserve. As we walked toward the ceremony, I could hear the guests being seated, the soft music starting to play. In 15 minutes, I was supposed to walk down the aisle toward my happily ever after. Instead, I was about to burn it all down. And I couldn't wait to light the match. The string quartet played softly as guests filtered into their seats. I watched from a hidden alcove as Leo worked the crowd, flashing that practiced smile I'd once found so charming. Now I could see the calculation behind it. Everything's set, Elise whispered, joining me. The video will start playing the moment you give the signal. And the police? Nathaniel has them on standby. The moment we show the evidence of financial fraud, they'll move in. A movement caught my eye. My father gesturing frantically at Hallie near the altar. She nodded and hurried toward the bridal suite where I was supposed to be waiting. Showtime, I muttered, slipping back through the side door just as Hallie burst in. There you are. She was breathless, panicked. Dad wants to talk to you. Before the ceremony. I bet he does. I adjusted my veil in the mirror. Tell him I'll see him at the altar where everyone can hear what I have to say. Zuriel, please. She grabbed my arm. You don't understand what you're about to do. I yanked free. No, You don't understand what you did. How much was it worth, Hallie? How much did Dad pay you to help destroy my life? It wasn't like that. I needed the money. For what? The new car? The designer clothes? Was selling out your sister worth it? Tears welled in her eyes. You've always had everything. The inheritance, Dad's approval, the perfect life. I just wanted perfect life. I laughed bitterly. You mean the life where my own family conspired to steal everything from me? Where my fiancé is nothing but a paid actor? Leo loves you. Leo loves my money, and now I have proof. I pulled out my phone, showing her the bank statements. Every payment, every meeting, every lie, it's all documented. The color drained from her face. Those transfers? They could be anything. Really? Should we ask Leo about the house in the Caymans, or maybe about his girlfriend in Miami? Her head snapped up. What girlfriend? Oh, you didn't know about that part? Interesting how Dad kept some secrets even from his accomplices. The wedding march began to play. Hallie's hands started shaking. Don't do this, she pleaded. You'll destroy everything. No, you all did that yourselves. I'm just making sure everyone knows the truth. A knock at the door, Elise poked her head in. It's time. I turned to my sister one last time. You should get out there, you won't want to miss this. The walk to the ceremony felt surreal. Through the glass doors, I could see Leo at the altar, my father beaming proudly in the front row. 200 guests waited to witness what they thought would be a fairy tale wedding. Wait. My mother's voice came from behind me. She looked elegant in her navy dress, but her eyes were steel. I'm walking you down the aisle. Mom? No. If we're doing this, we're doing it right. She took my arm. Besides, I want to see your father's face up close when it all falls apart. The doors opened, the guests stood, the music swelled. As we walked down the aisle, I caught snippets of whispered conversations. She looks beautiful. Such a perfect couple. The Garrett family must be so proud if they only knew. Leo's smile faltered slightly as he saw my mother walking me down the aisle instead of my father. Good, let him sweat. We reached the altar. Leo extended his hand to help me up the steps. You look stunning, baby, he whispered. Save your lines for your girlfriend in Miami, I whispered back. His hand tightened painfully on mine. What did you say? Before he could recover, the officiant began. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today. I looked out at the sea of faces. My father suddenly uncertain. Hallie, pale and trembling. The dozens of society friends and business associates here to witness what they thought would be the social event of the season. If anyone knows any reason why these should not be joined in holy matrimony, the officiant continued. Speak now or forever. Hold your peace. I raised my hand. Actually, I have something to say. A murmur rippled through the crowd. Leo's grip on my hand became crushing. Darling, he said through clenched teeth, what are you doing? I smiled, sweet as poison. I'm giving everyone exactly what they came for, a show they'll never forget. I turned to face the guests, pulling my hand free from Leo's grasp. Before we continue, there's a video I'd like everyone to watch. The massive screens on either side of the altar flickered to life. My father half rose from his seat, face contorting with rage. Zuriel, he growled. Sit down. No, Dad. I think everyone should see this. I nodded to Elise at the back of the room. Roll it. The first clip played. My father and Leo in the office discussing payment schedules and asset transfers. The audio was crystal clear. Once you're married, my father's voice boomed through the speakers. We'll start moving her assets offshore. She'll never know what hit her. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Leo lunged for the microphone in my hand, but I stepped back. Careful, darling. Wouldn't want to look violent in front of all these witnesses, would you? The next clip showed Hallie counting stacks of cash. And she really doesn't. Suspect anything? Your sister's too busy planning her perfect wedding, my father's voice replied. By the time she figures it out, the money will be gone. Someone in the audience shouted, Turn it off. Oh, we're just getting started, I announced, my voice steady. Let's talk about Leo's girlfriend in Miami, the one he visited last week while telling me he was at a business conference. The screen showed security footage of Leo in a beachfront restaurant kissing a woman who definitely wasn't me. That's not, I can explain, Leo stammered. Explain what? The offshore account? The fake prenup? Or maybe explain this. The next clip showed Leo and my father in the garden just hours ago laughing about their scheme. I have to admit, Leo said on screen, it was easier than I thought. She really believed all that love at first sight bullshit. The audience erupted in shocked murmurs. I saw several people pulling out phones recording everything. "Security," my father shouted. "Shut this down." "The security team works for me now," I said calmly. "Just like the cameras in your office worked for me. Just like everything you tried to steal from me still works for me." Hallie rushed forward. "Sis, please, don't sis me." I turned to the crowd. My own sister sold me out for a $100,000 and a promise of more to come. I have the receipts for that too. The screens showed bank transfers, dated messages, every piece of evidence I'd gathered over the past months. "You're making a mistake," Leo hissed, grabbing my arm. "The only mistake I made was trusting any of you. I yanked free, but I fixed that too, Nathaniel." My old friend stood up from his seat. "The trust fund has been secured and transferred. None of you can touch it now, ever." My father's face turned purple. "You little choose your next words carefully, Dad." I pointed to the back of the room where 2 police officers had quietly entered. "Fraud charges carry serious prison time these days. You'd send your own father to jail?" He tried to sound outraged, but I heard the fear beneath it. "You tried to steal everything from your own daughter. What do you think?" The officers moved forward as the final video played. My father detailing the entire scheme to Leo, complete with contingency plans and money trails. "Frankie Garrett," one officer called out, "we need you to come with us." The chaos that erupted was almost beautiful. Guests jumping to their feet, phones recording everything, my father trying to push past the officers, Leo making a break for the side door, only to be stopped by Nathaniel and 2 security guards. "You've ruined everything," Hallie screamed at me. "No." My mother's voice cut through the chaos. She stood tall, facing her eldest daughter. "You did that yourselves, every single one of you." I watched as the officers led my father away in handcuffs, as Leo was detained for questioning, as Hallie collapsed into a chair sobbing. "Ladies and gentlemen," I addressed the stunned crowd. "I apologize for the deception, but not for the truth. The reception is still on. Consider it a celebration of justice instead of a wedding." Elise appeared at my side with a glass of champagne. "That was incredible." "It's not over yet." I took the glass. "The FBI's Financial Crimes Unit will want statements from everyone, and the media's already outside. Are you ready for that?" I looked around the room at the wreckage of what was supposed to be my perfect day. At the faces showing shock, sympathy, and admiration. "You know what? I am." I raised my glass to new beginnings and to karma. The remaining guests, the true friends, the honest ones, raised their glasses with me. As I sipped my champagne, I caught my mother's eye. She nodded once, proud and sad and relieved all at once. Sometimes I realized you have to burn it all down to build something real. The next few hours passed in a blur of police statements and camera flashes. I sat in what was supposed to be the bridal suite, now transformed into an impromptu interview room as Detective Morris reviewed my evidence. "This is impressive work," she said, scrolling through the files on her laptop. "Most victims don't document things this thoroughly." I'm not most victims. I'd changed out of my wedding dress into a simple black suit, and I'm not done yet. A knock at the door. Nathaniel entered with a stack of papers. "The FBI's here. They're particularly interested in the offshore accounts." "Miss Garrett," Detective Morris leaned forward. "Your father's asking to speak with you." "No." I stood up, straightening my jacket. "He can talk to my lawyers." Another knock. This time it was Elise. "You need to see this." She held up her phone, showing a breaking news headline. "Society wedding turns to scandal. Prominent businessman arrested for fraud." "It's everywhere," she said. "Social media is blowing up. People are calling you a hero." "I don't feel like a hero." I took the phone, scanning the comments. "I feel like someone who just lost their entire family." "Not your entire family," my mother said from the doorway. She looked exhausted, but determined. "I just finished my statement to the FBI, told them everything I know about your father's dealings." "Mom, you didn't have to." "Yes, I did. It's time I stopped being a coward." She crossed the room and took my hands. "I'm so proud of you." The moment was interrupted by shouting from the hallway. Hallie's voice getting closer. "She's my sister. You can't keep me out." 2 security guards appeared, restraining her. Her mascara was streaked with tears, her bridesmaid dress wrinkled. "Let her in," I said quietly. Hallie stumbled forward as the guards released her. "They're taking Dad to federal prison. Leo's being charged with conspiracy. Everything's falling apart. Funny how consequences work, isn't it? You have to help them. We're family." Family? I laughed bitterly. Was it family when you helped Dad plan to steal my inheritance? When you took payments to spy on me? I needed the money. You've always had everything handed to you. I had nothing handed to me. My voice cracked like a whip. That inheritance? I earned it. Working 16-hour days at the company while you were partying through college. Being the perfect daughter while you did whatever you wanted. Girls. Our mother stepped between us. Enough. No, Mom, not enough. I turned back to Hallie. You want to know the difference between us? I would have helped you if you'd asked. I would have shared everything I had, but instead, you chose to steal it. Hallie's face crumpled. What am I supposed to do now? Get a good lawyer, you're going to need one. I nodded to the guards. We're done here. As they led her away, Detective Morris cleared her throat. There's one more thing. Leo's requesting immunity in exchange for information about other schemes your father was running. Of course he is. I wasn't even surprised anymore. Tell him he can rot in jail with the rest of them. Nathaniel touched my arm. The press is waiting outside. Are you ready to make a statement? Actually, I pulled out my phone. I have a better idea. I opened Twitter and started typing. To everyone asking about today's events. Yes, I exposed my own wedding as a fraud. Yes, I had my father arrested. Yes, I caught my fiancé planning to steal my inheritance. And no, I'm not sorry. Are you sure about this? Elise asked as I continued typing. The truth is, I read aloud as I typed. Sometimes the people closest to you are the ones who will hurt you the most. But that doesn't mean you have to let them. I hit post and watched as the likes and retweets immediately started rolling in. What now? My mother asked softly. Now? I looked around the room at the people who had stood by me. Elise, Nathaniel, my mother. The ones who chose truth over deception, loyalty over greed. Now we rebuild. But first, I believe there's still a reception happening downstairs. You're not seriously going to. Oh, I am. I smiled, feeling lighter than I had in months. They wanted a show? Let's give them one. A celebration of justice instead of a wedding, remember? As we walked toward the reception hall, I could hear the music playing, the murmur of voices, the click of cameras. But for the first time in years, I felt completely, utterly free. Ready? Elise asked, linking her arm through mine. Ready, I replied, pushing open the doors. Time to show them what real power looks like. The reception hall fell silent as I entered. Hundreds of eyes turned to watch me walk to the center of the room where the first dance should have happened. Instead, I took the microphone from the band's lead singer. Thank you all for staying, I said, my voice steady. I know this isn't the celebration you expected. You're damn right it's not. A man stood up, Leo's father. You've destroyed both our families. No, sir, your son and my father did that when they decided to commit fraud. I held up my phone. Would you like to see the video of Leo planning to empty my accounts and flee to the Caymans? He sat down abruptly. I've been getting messages asking why I did this so publicly, I continued. Why not handle it privately? Here's why. I nodded to Elise, who started a new video on the screens. This time, it showed other victims. 3 different women, all telling similar stories about Leo and my father's schemes. Sarah lost her tech company. I narrated as the first woman spoke. Maria lost her inheritance. Rebecca lost her family business. All of them stayed quiet out of shame. All of them were told to handle it privately. The room erupted in whispers as more faces appeared on screen. More victims, more stories. My father and Leo didn't just target me, I said over the growing murmurs. They've been doing this for years, but they picked the wrong target this time. Nathaniel stepped forward with a stack of papers. These are civil suits being filed on behalf of all the victims. The FBI is already freezing accounts and seizing assets. You can't do this, Leo's mother shrieked, standing up. We have rights. Yes, you do. You have the right to remain silent, Detective Morris called out as she entered with more officers, which I suggest you exercise while we discuss your role in these schemes. As they led Leo's parents away, my mother took the microphone. I enabled this, she announced, her voice shaking slightly. By staying silent, by looking the other way, I helped them hurt people. That ends today. She turned to me. My daughter taught me that real strength isn't in keeping secrets, it's in exposing them. Applause broke out, scattered at first, then building. I saw phones recording everything, social media notifications flooding my screen. The company. Someone called out, What happens to Garrett Industries? I'm glad you asked. I smiled. As of this morning, I've assumed control as CEO. Our first order of business, a victim restitution fund. More applause, more cameras flashing. But that's not all, I continued. Elise? My best friend stepped forward, tablet in hand. We've uncovered evidence of systematic fraud across multiple industries, names, dates, transactions, everything. Which means, I took back the microphone. This isn't just about my wedding anymore. This is about justice. For everyone they've hurt. The doors burst open again. Holly stood there still in her bridesmaid dress, mascara streaked across her face. Is this what you wanted? She screamed. To destroy everything? No, Hallie. This is what you wanted. I kept my voice calm. You wanted money, power? Well, congratulations. You're about to be famous, just not the way you planned. The screen showed her bank statements, the payments, the recorded conversations about betraying me. Take her statement. I nodded to Detective Morris. She might want to consider cooperating. It could help at sentencing. As they led my sister away, I turned back to the crowd. The real celebration today isn't about a wedding. It's about truth. About standing up to people who think their power makes them untouchable. I raised my champagne glass. To justice, to consequences, and to new beginnings. The room erupted in cheers. People stood, raising their glasses, phones still recording every moment. Nathaniel appeared at my side. The FBI wants to talk to you about the other cases, and the media's going crazy. Your story's trending worldwide. Good. I handed him my glass. Let them see what happens when you fight back. Zur, Elise called out, showing me her phone. Your tweet just hit 1 million retweets. People are calling you the runaway bride who fought back. I laughed. I didn't run away. I stood my ground. My mother hugged me tight. You did more than that. You showed everyone else how to stand their ground too. As the party continued around us, no longer a wedding reception, but a celebration of justice, I felt a weight lift from my shoulders. The truth was finally out, and with it came not just freedom, but power. Real power. The kind they couldn't steal, the kind that comes from standing up and saying no more. The sun was setting when I finally left the venue, casting long shadows across the courthouse steps where reporters had gathered. My mother squeezed my hand as we faced the wall of cameras. Miss Garrett, how does it feel to take down your own family's criminal empire? Not my empire anymore, I said into the microphones. As of today, Garrett Industries is being restructured into a victim advocacy organization. Every penny they stole will be returned. What about your sister's claims that you're destroying your family legacy? Legacy? I met the reporter's eyes. My father's legacy was built on lies and theft. I'm building something better. Truth and justice. And the wedding gifts? Someone called out. All being returned, Elise answered from beside me, along with a letter explaining how their generosity will help fund legal support for fraud victims. My phone buzzed. A message from Detective Morris. Leo's talking, everything. Your father's network is crumbling. Ms. Garrett, what's next for you? Before I could answer, a commotion erupted at the bottom of the steps. Hallie pushed through the crowd, no longer in her bridesmaid dress but in plain clothes, her face stripped of makeup. I want to make a statement, she said, her voice raw. The cameras swung toward her. My mother tensed beside me, but I held up a hand. Let her speak. Hallie stepped forward, trembling but determined. My sister was right. About everything. I was jealous and greedy, and I helped hurt people. She turned to face me. I'm sorry, Zuriel. I'm so sorry. Actions speak louder than words, I replied. I know. That's why she pulled out a folder. That's why I just gave the FBI everything. Account numbers, contacts, every scheme I knew about, and I'm ready to testify. The reporters erupted with questions. Cameras flashed, but I was watching my sister's eyes, seeing real remorse for the first time. It's a start, I said quietly. Nathaniel appeared, tablet in hand. The first restitution payments are going out. Sarah's getting her company back. Maria's inheritance is being restored. Rebecca's family business is being returned. And Leo? My mother asked. Singing like a canary, Detective Morris said, joining us. Your father's international partners are being arrested as we speak. The whole network's coming down. I felt a tap on my shoulder. Elise was grinning, holding up her phone. On the screen was a video of a young woman, tears streaming down her face. Thank you, the woman was saying. I lost everything to these men 2 years ago. Watching you fight back, you gave me hope. You gave all of us hope. More messages flooded in. Victims sharing their stories. People standing up to their own abusers. Women refusing to be silenced. This is bigger than us now, I told the reporters. This is about everyone who's ever been told to stay quiet, to handle things privately, to protect powerful men's reputations. What's your message to those people? A reporter called out. Stand up, speak out, document everything. I smiled. And never let anyone steal your power. Hallie stepped closer. I want to help, really help, not just with testimony. These victims, maybe I can work with them, show them they're not alone. You'll have to earn their trust, I said. And mine, I know. I'm ready to try. My mother wrapped an arm around each of us. We all are. As the sun disappeared behind the courthouse, casting the world in shades of purple and gold, I looked at the people around me. My mother, finding her strength. My sister, choosing redemption. My friends, standing firm through everything. One last question, a reporter shouted. Do you regret exposing everything so publicly? I thought about the videos still circulating online, the stories being shared, the victims finding their voices. No, I said firmly. Some things need to be dragged into the light. Some truths need to be shouted from the rooftops. I turned to face the cameras one last time. They thought they could silence me with shame. Instead, I'm starting a revolution of truth-tellers, and we're just getting started. The headlines would call it the wedding that brought down an empire. The social media posts would call it justice served. The legal documents would call it the largest fraud exposure in the state's history. But standing there, watching the truth spread like wildfire through every news channel and social platform, I called it something else. I called it freedom. Ready to go? Elise asked, car keys in hand. I looked at my mother, strong and proud. At Hallie, humbled but trying. At the crowd of supporters and survivors gathering below. Yes, I said. I'm ready for whatever comes next because sometimes the happy ending isn't a wedding, sometimes it's the courage to stop one.